increase our limit.
Yeah, I'll have to take it off screen
Yeah,
share.
we're
Now,
gonna
for
increase
everyone
our
watching
limit.
right now,
We've reached capacity here.
I
I don't know if you can let anybody know who's in the waiting room who can't get in. If you could tell them that we're also
Mary's in
streaming
the waiting
live
room.
on YouTube, Facebook, and they can view us there.
Make something of our world.
There's space online.
everybody.
I'd like you to be part of that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
For more accurate visualization.
Okay.
Somebody's
Lorna.
Awesome.
Hi.
Welcome everybody. Again, for those of you who are joining,
Judy.
starting in a couple
Hi,
minutes.
Pam. I saw
I'm
you.
just getting the
Hi,
final
Pam.
word.
Pam is
All
here.
right, I think we are all live now.
Little sweetheart.
We are live. I am seeing
Oh,
I'm seeing the live on Instagram right now.
DJ.
Hello, everybody.
Energy.
Okay, awesome. And for those for
Hello,
people
everyone.
who are or Alicia or Josh, for those who can't get in because we've reached the capacity for this meeting, could you send a note to the waiting room that they can join, see the live stream on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram? And hopefully we can increase the limit in the meantime, but let's just direct people who can't make it to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live. So if you're on, don't leave this meeting. Otherwise, you probably won't be able to get back on. So make sure you stay on because you won't be able to get back in because we've reached the meeting capacity. We were capped at 500 people, and that's great. Again, you can go on Instagram, you can go on YouTube or Facebook for those of you who can't get into the meeting.
This is an awesome situation. Hi guys,
It is
Christoph.
it is a good,
Yeah.
a good problem.
Yeah.
Problem, but a good problem.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I think we are about ready to begin. I just received final word from Frankie, who's kind of the tech guy and setting up all the live streaming, all the cameras and things like that, making sure everybody's ready to talk. So, okay. So we're going to go ahead and start the meeting now. And okay, yeah, Josh right now is trying to increase the size of the meeting. Also, nice haircut, Josh.
Yeah, thanks.
I saw it. Nice
You want me to
hair.
mute everybody out, Wallace?
Much love to everybody here.
Oh, there's the puppy.
Thank you, Rick.
DG.
So, okay, let's mute this meeting
DJ.
and we'll go ahead and get started right now.
Okay, unmute Wallace. There we go.
All right. Welcome officially to today's major announcement. I'm Wallace Hamilton. My father's Mark Hamilton, and he has been working nonstop, tirelessly over, well, his entire lifetime to make the world a better place. His goal is to free the individual so they could live the life they were meant to live, and free society so humankind and conscious kind can live the life it was meant to live. And recently, my father had another major vision, a vision that's going to change the course of civilization here on Earth. And as we begin today's meeting, I'd say stay on the entire time. We're going to go through a few speakers, and then you must stay on because we are going to launch something. You saw a teaser to it earlier when our shared screen was up, and you are not going to want to miss this because we are going to offer you to become founding members of this new launch. And so to officially begin this meeting, I would like to introduce somebody very special who will kickstart today's major announcement. So for an incredible 40 years, Steve Rapella has stood as Mark Hamilton's steadfast confident and executioner. He transformed visionary ideas into tangible reality. He's been a driving force behind the scenes, expertly implementing Mark's groundbreaking business strategies and ensuring the Neothink Society's remarkable growth. Under Steve's leadership, over 2 million individuals have embraced the transformative power of Neothink, which is a testament to his unwavering dedication and exceptional management skills. Together, Mark and Steve have turned what seemed an improbable dream into a thriving global movement. And so today, I'm honored to have Mark Hamilton's right-hand man, Steve Rapella, take the stage. He's going to share his unique perspective on this extraordinary journey and then introduce the visionary architect behind it all, Mark Hamilton. Welcome, Steve.
Wow. That was quite the introduction. I appreciate that. It's quite amazing to see everybody here. I'm amazed at the attendance and seeing all these faces. I'm looking at
really quick, Steve. I don't think we can see your face.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Let me see here. Yeah, I just turned on my video. Oh, let me just see if this camera's been moved. No, there's something going on here.
Yeah, there's something blocking in
No,
front of
there's
the
nothing blocking the camera. I'm right in front of it. I'm not quite sure why that's not coming up. Let's see here.
It looks like your camera might be behind your monitor, behind your computer.
No, it's right in front of it. It's getting part of it, you see.
Oh yeah, I see your water bottle.
So it's just not getting the whole image, and I'm not sure why. So you don't necessarily need to see my face.
Maybe just stand to the side of it. Maybe next
Oh
to
yeah,
the
let me
water
see if I
bottle.
move over. If you can see, well, you're gonna see just my shoulder. Let me see what else I can try here. Hang on one sec. Yeah, I'm not sure it was working just fine before we started. Yeah. Let me try one other thing.
Javier said, the man behind the curtain.
It's gonna have to be that way. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's blocked like that. It was working fine just before the meeting started. So I think we should just, I'll be the man behind the curtain. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
We've got a lot to discuss, uncover here today. And it's, again, quite amazing to have seen all the people one by one show up. And I too want to welcome everyone, all the Neothink members, the searcher soulmates of us. And I want to welcome you all today. And for those who are viewing now, and for those who will view in the next over the next couple of days and weeks to come. A lot of you know my origin story. I was introduced to Neothink and its concepts firsthand through my one-on-one relationship with Mark Hamilton. I was there from the beginning, but I'm a lot like you. I was a searcher. I was looking for something more, and I was looking for that something special, that special sauce, but I didn't realize it was right there in my head. I just didn't know how to use my brain. But I kept searching, just like a lot of you, and I'm sure there's something out there. I was looking for something outside myself. I was searching for someone to tell me how to succeed, someone I could follow. That sound familiar? I'm telling you, I must have read over 100 self-help, success books on how to make money, how to crunch my time, and how to better myself. But none, not one of those books recognized the path to personal success and everlasting happiness was right between my ears. And not until I had the great privilege to work side by side with the man did I learn how to use my mind for not only great success, but for a deep sense of peace and happiness. With Mark's brilliant identification of how the mind should work, and with his groundbreaking self-leader and division of essence discoveries, I've been able to manage Mark's business successfully, as Wally has said, and stand proudly as a business leader in my own right for over 40 years. Now, all of you today are all in the same position I was in. You all have the opportunity to get the same mentorship I experienced. And how wonderful it must be to experience that initial moment of enlightenment when you begin using your mind the way it was meant to be used for creation. I'll never forget when I passed over into that new mentality. And now, today, Mark has taken the Neothink Society to the next level. Remember, Mark's business is not just selling books or even selling ideas. It's much, much more than that. Mark is selling the next evolution of mankind, of consciousness, how we were meant to use our minds to create values for ourselves and society, and thereby living happy and fulfilled lives forever. And I have been there with Mark through the decades of marathon days, as he'll remember, that turned into weeks, months, and years of just deep thinking and executing business campaign after business campaign, testing and perfecting his mind-expanding concepts. And now, all those tireless years have brought us all here today together with you, with his family. Today, you are about to witness that next great leap forward beyond the incredible business breakthroughs that we use in running this extremely unlikely major success story called the Neothink Society. For Mark has taken Neothink well beyond the business and into a new Neothink puzzle picture that is truly well beyond anything that the world has ever seen, beyond the realm of business into the very fabric of humanity itself. Indeed, an entirely new civilization is about to unfold. And now, to unveil this great next leap, it is my honor to introduce the man, Mr. Mark Hamilton.
Wallace, is he
See
on?
myself here.
Oh, there
Hello.
we
Hello. Am I here? There we are. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be here. Thank you, Steve. That was really a warm and beautiful introduction. Really enjoyed listening to that, and everything Steve said was brought back memories, and it was all very accurate description of our history together. So here we are, and as Steve mentioned, searching soulmates. That's the term we use for all of you. We've used it for a long time. You're my searching soulmates. I too have always been a searcher from the very beginning. And as you know, I went on a journey to reach out and find the searchers of the world. That's who I reached out to, sent my letters to, and you responded to me because you knew that we were soulmates. So today, we're going to start 2,400 years in the past, 2,400 years ago. Humanity split into two different philosophical paths. You had the Plato philosophical path, you had the Aristotle philosophical path. Now let's walk through history for a minute. The Plato line of philosophers. We had Rousseau, we had Hegel, Kant, Marx, and their philosophies led to civilizations based on collectivism, which in turn opened the way for totalitarianism, for a ruling class, a government to enforce collectivism. No one can have more than anyone else, and we all have to work as a collective society. That's what the line of Plato's philosophers brought to the world. It brought the worst countries the world has ever seen. It brought Hitler's Germany, brought Stalin's Russia. It brought Mao's China. It brought Pol Pot's Cambodia. So these countries existed under the iron heel, force-backed, total force control of government, the ruling class, over its people. Now we have the other path, the other philosophical path, the Aristotelian path. And there we had great philosophers like Voltaire, John Locke, our founding fathers, Adam Smith, Ayn Rand, Frank R. Wallace. I mean, all of you are very familiar with his works. And this culminated in the best country the world has ever seen, America. But America is not the culmination of the Aristotelian line of philosophy. Today, we're going to bring to the world the culmination of the Aristotelian philosophy. You see, America still left the opening to initiatory force. And what we need to bring to the world is the society, the civilization, where there is absolutely no initiatory force. America left open the door. Today, I'm going to walk us back through my works, my father's works, Ayn Rand's works, John Locke's works, our founding fathers, all the way back to Aristotle. Let's think of it like this. Let's say we have a very, very long line of fiber optics reaching all the way back through history. Then we take this end and we look at it, and we see a glowing light coming through. Well, that's the glowing light of all the philosophers behind what we're going to do today. Let's take a moment of silence to think about the greats who came before us. Just take a moment of silence here. The culmination of this Aristotelian line of philosophers is the complete removal of initiatory force. We saw the culmination of Plato's line of philosophers was the total domination of initiatory force. We're banishing, eliminating altogether initiatory force. That hasn't been done. Like I said, the door was left open in America, and we're losing America today. We're losing her. The First Amendment, the beacon of freedom, is under attack in America. Let me tell you a little story about an experience I had at Starbucks. As you know, I have always provided tools and techniques to better mankind, starting at the very basic level with the many-day power thinking system team, working our way up through bringing visions into people's lives with power thinking, bringing curiosity, that child of the past, into people's lives, bringing purpose into people's lives, areas of purpose, the division of essence, bringing people into jobs that they love and giving them the process to manifest that. Well, one day I was sitting in Starbucks and it hit me. Although my father, my brother, and I had worked on the prime law for many years of just consistently editing it, basically bringing it down to the fundamental of protection, the most fundamental natural law of protection, in as few words as possible. So we had worked on that for many years together. And then I was sitting in Starbucks and suddenly it hit me that that is the tool. The prime law is the tool to bring the civilization of the universe to Earth. Now, you being my readers, you all know what I mean by that. I don't need to go in right now and describe the civilization of the universe. But I realize that the prime law was the tool. I've always been developing tools and techniques to improve mankind. And it hit me, although we had worked on this for years together, it hit me. That's the tool to bring the civilization of the universe to Earth. The whole world around me just went silent. I knew that this 107 words that we'd been working on for so long needed to be implemented as the tool to bring pure freedom to mankind. So it was obvious. It's right under our nose the whole time. It's sort of like the mouse in the technology field. They had that for years before they really figured out what to do with it. Well, at that moment, my whole life changed, and my mission became very straightforward from that point forward. So the prime law, as I said, is the tool to bring us the sea of you. And we're going to look at that today and what that means. I said this to my sons, that if my father and I could go back to the time of our founding fathers and present them with the prime law, let's say present Thomas Jefferson, for example, with the prime law. Thomas Jefferson would have looked at that and he would have said, and I quote what I believe he would have said. He would have said, "This is what I've been looking for." You see, Thomas Jefferson had a very difficult time, even though he's the driving force behind the Bill of Rights. He had a very difficult time with that. He justified it to himself. It's a half a loaf is better than no loaf. But he knew all the problems about starting to bring in rights and positives into our Constitution. What the prime law does is what Neotech does. It removes the negative. See, today our country is falling. Our Bill of Rights are losing their impact, their power. The First Amendment is being attacked consistently. The prime law removes the negative. The Bill of Rights added the positive. And today, rights are killing our country. DEI rights, ESG rights, this right, that right, social justice rights, adding the positive. It's destroying America. We need to remove the negative. Removing the negative is everything behind the new country that we'll be starting. Our new country will banish initiatory force. The prime law will be our Constitution. You actually don't need more than the prime law, because suddenly you have a country that's based strictly on mutual value exchange. And no one can violate the prime law, mutual value exchange. Now, you know from my readings from the New World what all that means. We have a business. We have value creators. The release of the energy and the success of the geniuses of society without force-backed, burdensome regulations on their backs, holding progress back. It'll be breathtaking. You know from my writings that everyone in that society will live like a multimillionaire, even if you're not, because the standard of living will rise so dramatically that people who don't have much money to their names will live like multimillionaires. I won't go in and explain all the behind. You've all read my works, you understand that. You're all with me on that. Crime will dry up and disappear. Again, I won't go in and explain it other than this little thought right here. If you're living like a multimillionaire, why are you going to go through the effort of committing crime? Money-based crime, that is. But in any case, with the consequences that would be in place and the ease of very high standard of living and the attraction to this new country, there'd just be no crime. It would dry up and disappear. And you all know from my writings how complex diseases will disappear. And why is that? The geniuses of society don't have the burdensome regulations on their back and the legislation blocking their paths forward. They can get to the marketplace. They can integrate with the marketplace at the speeds necessary to accomplish the curing of these complex diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and yes, cellular degeneration. That's aging. Now, in this day of AI, we'll eventually get the cure to aging and the cure to cancer and heart disease. We'll eventually get that. But not in your lifetimes, not in my lifetime. And that's what this is all about, doing this in our lifetime. And that's the motivation to starting this new country with the prime law as our Constitution. You all know my formula for curing aging. First, we have to make mankind happy. Right? We have to break mankind out of the stagnant routine ruts and following mode into using their minds the way they were designed for. Create, grow, expand, break through limitations. This is the hallmark of neothink. Most people rise up to their level of limitations and then they're stuck there for the rest of their lives. Neothink breaks through that, goes around that, and constantly grows. Think of the great minds, geniuses of society today. I'll mention Sir Richard Branson, or Elon Musk, or the late great Steve Jobs. They never hit their level of limitation. They all used neothink to break through their limitations, to go around their limitations. You go to their Wikipedia page, and it's just so creative. Everything they're doing and always doing. I just saw a short with Richard Branson on YouTube, and he's in his 70s now, I think around 74, and he was saying how his life is all about creation, and that why should you put an age on when you stop creating? He's going to create. He said there's no reason to continue to create to the very end. That's how our minds were supposed to work. And I have always given out my techniques, tools and techniques to help my people, help the world, help mankind to rise beyond their boring, routine ruts. That's not the way life was meant to be lived, not for human beings. So I have worked my life on trying to raise the happiness of mankind. That's the goal. But what happens when we have more and more and more happy individuals? They're not going to want to die. They're not going to want to get old and die like Sir Richard Branson. He's going to just keep creating. So what comes with breaking individuals out of the following mode into the integrating mode, into being a creative person, what comes with that is the desire for longer life, is the desire to not die. As I've told you, there's many billionaires who are investing hundreds of millions of dollars in total toward life extension. They don't want to die. They're creative. They're happy. Yeah, they're wealthy. They don't want to die. The problem is their hundreds of millions of dollars spent is getting caught in regulatory webs all throughout the world. They will eventually get biological immortality, but it won't happen in their lifetimes. but through our new country that gives us hope, that gives us the possibility, the true route to a society where there's no force-backed regulations, no ruling class, nothing. We're just the geniuses of society can just soar. And that will give us the leverage, the time, the low costs to gain an upper hand on these complex, fatal diseases. So you know my formula. This is what we're after. We're after making mankind happier, more demand, and then creating the conditions to where the supply can rise to the demand. And those conditions are why we're starting the new country, to have a place where the supply of anti-aging research and development can rise to the demand. All right. So we're going to launch a digital state. We're going to launch a digital state. Sorry, I just skipped a page in my notes. Frankie, can you help me out here? Just give me, yeah, let me take a look at that real quick. Let me see number 3. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. So just back up here a little bit. So as I said, we need a place on earth where the geniuses of society can rise and rise quickly. So today I am announcing the official launch of Immortalis. Immortalis is the name of our new country. Now, just for pronunciation, I put on my daily Prime Literature on Ascension ChatGPT's pronunciation of Immortalis. And Immortalis is a Latin word. It means immortal. And the way ChatGPT broke down the pronunciation was Immortalis. That's the Latin way of saying Immortalis. Immortalis. And I put that on the Daily Prime Literature. Since then, with much consideration, I decided to change the pronunciation to the modern English pronunciation of Immortalis. So I just wanted to get that out there. Immortalis is the name of our country, and it stands for immortal, basically immortality. That's my greatest vision in life, is to cure aging and death. That is my lifelong, underneath everything I provided you. It's all been working, as you saw in the Prime Cure, the big thick book, The Prime Cure. I've worked my whole life on freeing mankind from the following mode: to be happy and desire and want and demand longer life. And then we transition from those tools and techniques into providing or developing the conditions to which the supply can rise to that demand. And the conditions is the culmination of the Aristotelian line of philosophers, the complete and total removal of initiatory force through the prime law. That's our tool. That's our constitution of Immortalis. So we're launching Immortalis today. Wallace will explain more details and formalities later on. Be sure you stay to the very end. Wallace will come back on again after everyone has spoken here today. He'll come again. He's going to speak right after me, but he's going to come again at the end and give you directives to become original founding members. And that will stay with you for the rest of your life and hopefully forever, that you are an OFM, an original founding member of Immortalis. We have a 10-year plan, a lot of strategy, a lot of development that we've been working and will be developing. We will start with a network state, a digital country. And we have to have this to prepare, and before we could ever consider having a land-based nation, a land-based state, a place where we could all move to, where the businesses can flock to, the great value creators can flock to get the regulations off their back and bring to the people the great values they deserve, values they may not even know of yet because of this creative dynamic that we would have in Immortalis. But before that, we have to start with a 10-year plan with a lot of intricacies to build to the point where we have the power, the benevolent power, and the money to pull this off, and the influence. Now, here's just a little insight into the strength we could have with a network state, with a digital country. Today, you will be invited to become the first citizens of Immortalis. Now, as our citizens grow, and we will work together on this. This is going to be a major role now in your life as well, to grow the citizens in this new country. Now, think for a moment if we have 50,000 citizens, which is a very doable number. And let's just say each of those citizens earn an annual income of $60,000, fairly reasonable here in America. That would mean that our country, Immortalis, would have a gross national product of $3 billion. That's a lot of benevolent power that we influence. And things can start happening out there based on our voice. You see, we'll get a voice in this world. Even if we're living in America or in Europe or South America and paying taxes to the country we're living under, still, our influence and our power will become quite recognizable out there in the world. So that's just an example of one example of the many benefits of starting this 10-year plan with a network state, with a digital country. In 2 weeks, I believe 2 weeks from today, Wallace, my son Wallace, and Josh, one of my great mentors, Josh Seymour, they'll be heading to Singapore. There's a conference there put on by Balaji, who wrote the book, The Network State. A very powerful man, very influential man. They'll be attending his conference, his Network State conference in Singapore. And that's going to open some very interesting possibilities for us, and direction and organization and strategies. They're both very well prepared to maximize their efforts for all of us. So all the power to Wallace and Josh. So what I'm doing here today is I've opened, believe it or not, the final chapter of Neotech, Neothink. This is the final chapter. It's going to be a long chapter, but it's the final chapter. Today I turn 66 years old, and here forward, almost all of my focus and energy is going to be Immortalis. I have my sons now and my daughter working in the Neothink Club and the Neothink Society, working to expand our reach online. That's an area that, being younger, they're very familiar with. And that's what you have seen with Ascension and the movement, and Josh is involved in this too. And we're going to continue this online dynamic push. As you know, I am online. I am focused now on the final chapter. Final chapter of my life of Neotech and Neothink. So that's my message today. And I want to add something to it. I feel with you, deep in my heart, I feel a unity and a connectivity with you. And I will be calling on you during this final chapter. You're going to play a big role in this. Remember the power in numbers. You're going to play a big role in this, and I'm counting on you, and I feel that with you, we can't fail. With you and I together, with you, my family, and my NeoThink family, I feel we can't lose this battle. This mission will come to fruition. It will. I believe that deep in my heart. I've spent all of my life with this ultimate goal that now we're stepping on that journey together. We won't fail on this mission. We have a clear vision. We will not fail. I want to thank all of you now for being part of history. Today, we are making history. We are bringing the civilization of the universe, being my readers, you all know what that means, for the first time to planet Earth. It's never existed. Every civilization has existed under a ruling class. Never has a civilization existed with no ruling class, no force-backed leaders. And that's what this mission is all about, bringing the civilization, joining our brothers and sisters out there in the civilization free of irrationality. Pure, rational civilization right here on Earth. You can take a lot of pride in that and being here with me. You can take a lot of pride and absorb what this all means. It's historic, and it will change the world forever. Now, I'm going to turn this over to my son Wallace to begin filling in the blanks. And with that, I love you all. I love you all. I just feel so at home. Greatest birthday present I could have had is all of you with me together, my searching soulmates. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Wallace, I will now turn this over to you, my son.
Wow. 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 Thanks, Dad. That was amazing. That was incredible. We are founding a new country, Immortalis. This is it, guys. And I love how you mentioned, Dad, that you made an incredible integration, that from the Platonistic, the Kant, Marxist line of philosophers, the end result, the culmination, the application of that is socialism, communism, and tyranny, which promote the anti-values of death, laziness, and dishonesty, which ultimately results in death. And the antithesis to that upside down world is the end result of the line of philosophers starting with Aristotle to Voltaire, Ayn Rand, Dr. Frank R. Wallace, and you. The end result, the culmination and the application of that is Immortalis, a nation governed under the prime law. And that is the promotion of the values of life, effort, and honesty, which ultimately results in life. This is the civilization of the universe. So who is excited right now? Who is in awe right now? Yeah, I see you, Jean, Pamela. Awesome. I love that enthusiasm. Tony, Lorna, Larry, Josh, Sulin. Yes, Wade. Awesome. Monty, I love your hat. Yeah. Sylvia, Albert, Norman, Kirk, Darlene. Awesome. I love the energy. I love the enthusiasm. This is amazing. And it's gonna be very difficult to follow that up. And I'm going to remind you again that we do have several speakers that are going to come on and give a short talk. And then at the end, I'm going to show you all the details and the nitty-gritty on how to actually join and be an original founding member. Make sure you stay on, because if you join today, you will be an original founding member of Immortalis. So, but yeah, this is amazing. That was an incredible speech. We've been waiting. So many of us have been waiting for this for so long. I forget his name, but I think it was William. He was on. He's been here since 1982. And I know you in your heart have been waiting for a moment like this. And so I will say to all of you, both esteemed members of the Neothink community and fellow seekers of a better world, today marks a pivotal moment in human history. As we stand on the precipice of this new era, I'm just filled with an overwhelming sense of purpose and excitement for what lies ahead. But before we look to the future, I want to take a moment to honor the man who's made all of this possible, my father, Mark Hamilton. Dad, happy birthday. Your unwavering commitment to this vision is unlike anything the world has ever seen. For decades, you've dedicated your life to unlocking the secrets of human potential. And today, we begin to realize the fruits of your labor on a global scale to unlock the secrets of societal potential. Friends, when a being is in its essence, it is happiest. The essence of man is creation. The role of consciousness in the universe is creation. We are here to be creators, to add value to existence itself and become the dominant force in the universe. And within this grand house built for consciousness, we each have the power to control and add to it through our own acts of creation. And as our essence is creation, when man creates, it is happiest. This is the secret to eternally happy conscious life, to become the value creator at your level of evolution, to put yourself in harmony with yourself in the fundamental nature of the universe. Yet this secret has been kept from us. We have been suppressed from living in harmony with our essence on the individual level with mysticism and on the societal level with initiatory force. And it is this secret that we are here to actualize, to preserve forever the most precious and important value in existence, our own individual integrated conscious and physical self, to live as free, happy value creators until forever. And today we embark on a worldwide movement of unprecedented scale. We are creating a new country, Immortalis, founded on the principles of the prime law, the culmination of everything my fathers worked for. This nation will be the catalyst for bringing universal wealth, health, and peace to all of humanity. And I know that some of you have been caught up in the daily grind of ordinary life, and some of you may have lost contact with us, with my father, with the Neothink Society. But deep in your hearts, you've never lost touch with the great mission to create a better world. And now is the time to re-engage and to become an active part of this revolution. We are launching our endgame here. We are putting out the call. We need to recruit thousands, tens of thousands, and then millions of individuals to our cause. But we can't do this alone. We need you. Each and every one of you can play a crucial role in this grand vision. Imagine a world of near perfect health for the young, for the old, and for those in their prime. Picture a society where millionaire-like wealth is accessible to ordinary people, including the poor. Envision a future where exciting jobs of the minds unleash nearly everybody's human potential. This is not a dream. This is the reality we are creating. A world of security, of wealth, of health, of fulfilling and passionate work, of love and boundless intelligence, A world where you become the person you were always meant to be, living the life you were destined to live. You and your loved ones, your friends, your parents, your children, your grandchildren, and so on. And at the heart of this new world is the most important project of all time, our mission to cure all diseases, aging, and ultimately conscious death. I ask you now, are you willing to save your own life and the lives of those you love? Are you prepared to join the most important project in human history? I see you nodding, Tony. The choice is yours. You can join us in creating a world where extraordinary becomes the norm. Without Immortalis, you risk never experiencing the level of happiness, success, fulfillment that you and your loved ones are capable of achieving. We stand for the liberation and empowerment of the individual and the liberation and transformation of society. We are the catalyst for the evolution of human life from mere ordinary existence to extraordinary living. Join us. Be a part of this global shift. Together, we're going to create a world where every person is free to pursue their dreams uninhibited by limitations and lids on society. A world guided by the principle that every individual has the right to do as they wish, as long as you do not harm the person or property of another. The future is calling, and my question to you is, will you answer that call? Thank you, and welcome to the dawn of Immortalis, the country of the first immortals. Thank you, everybody. And make sure, again, to stay on until the end. We have a few more speakers, and then I'm going to come back on and show you how to become an original founding member and join the community, to join the nation. And you have to do it today to be an official original founding member. So thank you, everybody. I hope you're here to answer that call. And I'm going to pass it off to Marco, who is going to talk next for a few minutes. Thank you,
Hi, everyone.
everybody.
Great job, Wallace. And wow, I'm so excited with this announcement. You know, this really is our end game. This is the big puzzle picture of our new direction, of everything, of Neothink, Neotech coming together and coming to life. So for those who don't know, I am Marco Hamilton. I'm the second son of Mark Hamilton. I'm the second oldest son. And I am very honored to be here and to speak with you guys. We are at a historical moment in our history, at the forefront of the next massive movement that will change the world. Growing up with my father, Mark Hamilton, ever since I can remember, from 2 years old to today at 25, he would always share with me glimpses and visions of how the world should be and will be one day. Every day when we had our drive to school, or every deep conversation we had before bed, and throughout his daily actions and way of life that he showed me, he laid down puzzle piece after puzzle piece after puzzle piece of how this future world would be. I'm going to share with you some of the glimpses of this new world my father would tell me about every day. So my father, he would tell me about a world where the mind killer of stagnation, which is a killer of the human mind, is eradicated, allowing everyone to be able to find and pursue what they love, their Friday night essence, as happy and wealthy value creators. He told me about a world where, as a result, people live in their essence, in their Friday night essence, as value creators. He told me about a world where people don't think and use their brains how they do now. Instead, everyone uses their minds how they should, as integrated thinkers, to be creative and form concepts never before seen. A world where everyone reaches back to their child of the past, which is full of exhilaration for life, with unlimited goals and dreams. And they pull that child back and live with that wide-eyed love and overwhelming excitement for life. He told me about a world with overwhelming exhilaration, happiness for life, where every individual wakes up with uncontrollable happiness and excitement for their day because their life is just so amazing. He would tell me about a world where every person is filled with a love deeper than ever experienced before. That is only possible when the individual is a happy, fulfilled value creator. And that love is called pure love. He told me in this new world, pure love filled every individual. This pure love is felt every second. Pure love for values and business, pure love for humanity, pure love for family, and pure love for self. My father shared with me a world where negative and destructive emotions like guilt, envy, violence are all eradicated, allowing each individual to live blissfully without these destructive emotions holding them back. He told me about a world where individuals and where everyone is made millionaires, including the poor, where the geniuses of society are able to rise up, not held back by regulations and taxes. This leads to a technological revolution where the buying power skyrockets and prices plummet. In this world, anything you want becomes so extremely affordable, everyone lives like millionaires. He told me about a world where the ruling class and neo-cheaters are eradicated through the enactment of the crime law, so they can no longer control society, usurp values, nor strip freedoms from individuals for the first time ever. He told me a world where everyone lives as self-leaders, void of mysticism, illusions, guilt, and self-doubt. The individual is fully unleashed, and all individuals live the life they are meant to live. He told me a world where nobody's worried about their safety or fraud and scammers, as there is virtually no crime, as the incentive of crime falls to zero, and the protection of crime is infinitely better than seen anywhere else. A world where lifted restrictions allow for a health revolution, where crumbling health comes to an end. And he told me a world where everyone stays fit, slim, and sexy as well with this health revolution. And he also told me a world where the beautiful miracle of human life is regarded as it is, the most valuable thing in the universe. And in this world, you are able to live to the full potential of the highest regarded value in the universe, human life, to the fullest as it should. In this world, life is so amazing, beautiful, prosperous, abundant, and exhilarating, where the thought of death seems horrifying. Why would you want this life, your family's life, anyone's life in this world to end? Where the demand for life to not end becomes so great that the health revolution and geniuses of society work together to cure aging altogether, to forever preserve the ever-growing value of human life, never letting it perish. Those were the puzzle pieces of the future that my father would tell me about every day. Those are the puzzle pieces of the future world laid out in all of the Neotech and Neothink books written by my father and my grandfather, Dr. Frank R. Wallace, that many of you have read. And now, for the first time ever, those puzzle pieces of the future world are snapping together. They're snapping together to form something beautiful, tangible, and here and now. It is the largest integration of all the Neothink and Neotech concepts ever made. It is the first step to the actualization of the super puzzle story that I'm sure all of you have read, and taking that quantum leap from the anti-civilization into the sea of you. This beautiful puzzle picture that is now visible through all these puzzle pieces coming together is here now with Immortalis. And I am so excited for what's to come, as Immortalis is the puzzle picture of all those puzzle pieces. So that's it for me. I believe I'm going to pass it on to my younger brother, Frankie Hamilton. There he is.
No audio coming through on this side, Frankie.
Hey everyone. I am Frankie Hamilton. I'm the youngest of the brothers, and I'm just very happy to be here. I'm going to start off with a little backstory to just give a story from my perspective. So, growing up, my parents were always there for me. An amazing mother, an amazing father. You know, it always seemed like my father had all the time in the world, because every time I look back, he was always there for me. He would spend, it seemed like, hours every single day watching me set up my little toy battle figures to do hour-long battles with. And, you know, when you're a kid, you don't really notice how hard your parents work. And I just never even knew he worked because he just was always there. Now I realize that it was probably his mini-day schedule that let him do that. So get on the mini-day schedule if you're not doing that. But fast forward a few years, and I started to notice it, how long he would work every day, sitting at his desk, working till he'd fall asleep, and he'd wake up and just keep on working. Early mornings into late nights every single day. Weekends were no exception. Seeing how much he worked, I almost started to feel a little bit of sadness towards that because, you know, like in my eyes, it just looked like he's just so focused on something all day that it's just driving him to the point where to exhaustion, where he's falling asleep. He's just waking back up, getting right back to it. So I remember asking him, why do you work so much? And I was expecting an answer like, oh, I do it to provide for you guys, or I need to, so we have a house, food, you guys can have education, but none of that was in his answer. Instead, he simply said, because I love it. And that was the day that I learned about the Friday night essence, that all those hours he spent every day, early mornings into late nights, working until he would fall asleep, he was creating and refining his powerful message and sharing it with all of you, changing lives with each letter he sent. That's his essence, and that is just, he loved it, every moment of it. That was him playing. That is him playing as an adult today. All his works, all his writings, him raising 4 children, Monika, my sister, Wally, Marco, and me, and creating this community with all of you. Our Ascension members, our movement members, it's all coming together. We are all coming together. This is the start of the final chapter. We are the first sparks of the sea of you, flickering, growing into a flame that is going to save the world. This is the most important movement in present day. All of us are going to charge ahead with this message because we know that this is the most important message that we can spread. We not only know what it means, but we know how it makes us feel. We know that everyone deserves a life of pure happiness, love, wealth, and good health. And except for the very few who actually achieve those, it is stolen from everyone else. It is suppressed because laziness and irrationality rules the world that we live in. We are the opposite and equal reaction to these value destroyers. We are the value creators. We are going to clash, and we need to be ready so we can win. As much division there is in the world, people don't realize this, but there is a strong unity between us, between everyone. You see, everyone can be divided through destruction, and that's what we see in our governments. One side is trying to convince you by how much the other side is going to destroy your life. But what's stronger and deeper underneath that division, which is why we are going to win, is that everyone is united through value, through creation, through happiness, through love. And that is what we are. That is what we stand for. That is what Immortalis is. And before I pass it over, I just want to say one more thing. Neothink has always had an elusive definition to me. I couldn't really define it in a single simple sentence. It almost seemed like it's just something you had to feel to understand. But then I realized that its definition is actually so simple that it seemed too simple to be it. Neothink is the act of removing limitations in your life to maximize value creation. My father is beginning the greatest and most complicated act of Neothink, which is removing the greatest limitation of all, initiatory force. And that is the tool of our ruling class. We are all here on this earth, right at this moment, to partake in this great act of Neothink, to partake in the super puzzle, to save the greatest value in the universe. I want to say happy birthday to my father. He is my hero, he is my role model, and I couldn't have asked for a better father. I'm going to pass it on to my beloved sister, Monika Hamilton. I'll pass on the mic to you.
Unmute. Am I audible? No.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, it was funny because we were talking to my dad. We're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do something for your birthday? Do you want a gift? And he was like, this is the greatest gift I could ever ask for. I don't want to do anything else. So yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Monika Hamilton and I am Mark Hamilton's daughter. I grew up with the privilege of always being integrated in the Neothink world. For decades, I've absorbed my dad's knowledge and love for life. From the time I was a little child with my coloring book in hand, I'd sit next to him watching my dad write. And my dad was always writing, morning, noon, night, until it was morning again. And I have never seen anyone work as tirelessly or as passionately as my dad. When I was a kid, I would bring my pillow and blanket and curl up next to his desk so I could stay up late to get his golden nuggets of knowledge. He was my dad, the most caring person I have ever met, and my own Miss Annabelle integrating me into the Neothink world. I grew up in a world free from illusions, a place full of love and passion for life. Years turned into decades, and my dad's writing never stopped. To outsiders, it might have seemed like an obsession, but to him and to us, it was a mission that has brought us to this very moment today. A moment where all those countless hours, days, years, and decades have accumulated into something extraordinary. The birth of a new country, Immortalis. Immortalis is a place where the new self-leader society thrives, where the geniuses inside us all are free to live out their Friday night essence without restriction to create incredible values for all of us. Where buying power multiplies to make everyone, including the poor, rich. Where diseases are cured and health reaches near perfection. It is a country of limitless potential, where our minds can integrate knowledge with boundless childlike curiosity and snap together puzzle pieces with Neothink omniscience. This is the moment my dad has worked his whole life for, the moment all of us Neothinkers have strived for. This is the gifts of life era. An exhilarating journey awaits for all of us, and it begins today with the launch of Immortalis. This is the moment my dad has worked his whole life for, the moment all of us have strived for. This is the Gifts of Life's era. An exhilarating journey awaits each of us, one filled with passion, potential, purpose, value creation, and love, where every day is filled with meaning and every moment is a chance to create something extraordinary. Today, we embark on that journey together with the launch of Immortalis, a country where passion, freedom, and limitless potential are not just dreams, but our everyday reality. Yay for Immortalis!
That was awesome, Manika. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to the whole Hamilton family for being in the house today, and for all of you for tuning in. I'm going to share a couple of things really quickly, and then we're going to hear from some of the mentors and fellow members, and then Wallace is going to swing back around and let us know what we need to do to get involved, which I think you guys are going to really enjoy. We're going to get into a little bit of details today, but not too much because we have plenty of time to do that. Today is really more about just celebrating. So I hope you guys are enjoying the celebration. Pop the champagne. Happy birthday, Mark Hamilton. Many, many more. And the first thing I would like to mention is when I was thinking the last couple of days about this meeting coming forward, I had this song from Phil Collins that a lot of you might know called In the Air Tonight. And one of the lines, one of the bars in the song is, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. And that's exactly how I feel about the situation that we have ourselves in right now. And another song that came to mind was Waiting on the World to Change by John Mayer, which is like a nice song. It's a good jingle, but I always kind of feel like I am waiting on the world to change to some degree, because when I was introduced to Mark Hamilton as a teenager through my grandfather, I'm 36 now. I basically wanted to look at the world that way because it just made sense. And like when I read the Miss Annabelle story, Mark's factional trilogy that many of you here have read, if you're new and you haven't read any of Mark's books and you don't fully know what we're talking about, don't worry about it. We will definitely bring you in the loop. You're missing out, but you won't be missing out anymore if you choose to get engaged. But for the rest of you who are really familiar with Mark's works, the Miss Annabelle story, the reason why he wrote that was because it's not enough to see the new world that you see in his nonfiction works. You also have to feel it. And that's really where we are right now, is we're at a point where for ourselves, if you think about trying to market ideas like, hey, like let's try to persuade people to adopt the Prime Law, and shout out to those of you out there doing it, who have been doing it for a long time. And some of you recently are having great success in your different approaches. But when it comes to trying to influence people to do that, you can talk about it and how good it is, and you can get other people to talk about it and how good it is, or you can just demonstrate it. You can show them instead of telling them. And that's exactly what we're going to do with Immortalis. And all of us can be a part of it. And it's bigger than what it might seem when we're talking about creating a country or a nation state. That is what we're doing, a physical location like what you traditionally think of with nation states, except for it doesn't have the paradigm of the anti-civilization structures, but it's bigger than that. It's going to be a massive movement. And another thing I was thinking about the last couple of days is, if you're familiar with Walt Disney's original vision for Epcot, that he made videos about it. They're out there on YouTube, and he was trying to convince the Florida legislators to allow him to do what he wanted to do with the land in Florida. And Epcot stands for Experimental Prototype City of Tomorrow. And he wanted it to be like an epicenter of super rapidly advancing new technology, more or less, and American innovation. And people could come there and just kind of see what's going on, like a constant World's Fair showcase of modern technology. And of course, Walt Disney unfortunately died, like most great value creators have so far in history. And the board of directors deemed his vision unrealistic, and so they created something else with it. And that's what typically happens when the original founder with the DNA perishes. So in this case, we get to do our own version of something like that together with Mark Hamilton and the Hamilton family. And this is obviously going to be more dynamic even than what Walt Disney could imagine, but it's going to be a showcase that for the world where we can really show that this works. And you can go there and see it and feel it and touch it, and you can see the ripple effect that it's going to have. And just like what you might have read about in the Miss Annabelle stories, Miss Annabelle story, the Super Puzzle series, with things like the Paradise Cities. Once we create one, we can then replicate and create another one. So I want to live in this world. I have 2 daughters. I want my 2 daughters to live and grow up in this world. I want it yesterday. I want it tomorrow. I don't want to wait on the world to change. And I can feel it in the air, like Phil Collins said in his song, that we are at the moment where we can really do this. If enough of us come together, if we become organized into a powerful force for collective action, then it won't even take the 10 years that Mark Hamilton is potentially planning to actualize a lot of what we have planned. And stick with us, because we're going to go over that in just a little bit. But before we do, I'd like you to hear from some more of the people that Mark Hamilton has had a massive impact on over the years. Some of these people I'm about to introduce, you know them. Many of them you've come to love and see as friends and mentors and family members. And there's so many that we wanted to select, but there was only so much time that we have available today. So the first person that I want to introduce you to is Alicia Rose, and she is going to now share a few thoughts, and then we'll move on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Josh. Happiest afternoon, everyone. I'm Alicia Rose, delighted to be here with each and every one of you. Today is a historic day for Neothink, marking the beginning of something magnificently new, exciting, and thrilling. Reflecting on my unwavering dedication to Neothink, I am grateful for how Neothink knowledge and the Prime Law have enriched my life. These tools have shaped who I am today and strengthened me during challenging times. My journey began with Mark Hamilton's Super Puzzle arriving when I was a full-time caregiver for my husband. Neothink became my support, gifting me the strength to be there for him fully, including to the end. After my caregiving ended, Neothink gave me hope, a rational, common sense hope, one that propelled me forward, more dedicated than ever to Neothink and the 12 Visions world. Neothink helped me improve myself and my situation, gifting me the ability to share new knowledge and the Prime Law with others, enhancing their lives, my way of contributing to society. I am so deeply grateful to Mark Hamilton, Steve Rapella, Joshua Seymour, and Wallace Hamilton for a Neothink environment that gives me the ability to grow, flourish, and contribute within my Friday Night Essence wheelhouse and within the Neothink community. Thank you so much. Mark Hamilton's teachings have become a part of my DNA and mindset, transforming me into a happier, empowered version of myself, one who views life's challenges as lessons with superior Neothink solutions. I look forward to a brighter Neothink future with plans for living in Immortalis as it evolves from a digital entity to a land-based country, a true 12 Visions world. This historic moment means everything to me. It represents a turning point where everyone has the opportunity to choose the civilization they wish to live in. For me, the choice is clear. progress into the new business civilization where innovation and value creation leads the way. My heartfelt gratitude goes to our prime mentor, Mark Hamilton, whose vision and leadership have brought us to this magnificent point. My love for Immortalis, the new Neothink country, and Neothink is boundless. Today is truly an historical day, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Let's Neothink evolve together. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Oh, did you have something else to add?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that was wonderful. Edwin put in the chat, Alicia is the happiest person on earth. And I would agree with that. That's the new competition nowadays. With that said, we're going to now bring up Larry Johnson. Hey, Larry. Oh, I need to help you unmute. Hold on. Let me find you there.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. Wow. Well, first off, happy birthday, Mark. Wow, this is fantastic. To meet his family totally, all backing him, backing his play. You know, my journey started when I was 13 years old. And I became a community organizer. And I made a big difference in the 60s. And the day after making a dent in that, I felt sad. I really felt sad. And I walked away from that world. But then I was just out there in the world. And I received a letter from Mark Hamilton. And the letter said, I was a searcher. I was special. And I was like, wow, who is this person? And he talked to me like he knew me. He talked to me like he had known me all my life. And I was like, wow, this is something different. And so I went on and I started reading and ordering his material. And these books was unbelievable. Nobody never told me anything about any of this. And I was really drawn to his political views. Because I come from a political background. And I saw this and I was so fascinated about it. And I started absorbing all the information and learning about it. I got to meet his right-hand man, Steve, more than once, lots of time. And I even was invited to go to Las Vegas. I didn't know I was going to meet Mark Hamilton, but I did. And what an impression it had on my life. Up until this day. You know, my passion at that point was I wanted to be that person that made a difference in everything I did. And I went ahead, Neothink all the way. I'm a diehard. That's want to live forever now. But going through that period, it made me see that, wow, you know, in early beginning, Mark had these classes of 12 levels we all went through, and Mark personally taught those classes. And I remember absorbing that information and saying, I'm going to be a mentor in this. I'm going to be somebody that's really make a difference. And I started absorbing this information. And this has become my life journey with this information. And even when things went one way, because I knew the self-leader system, I always found a way I was going to stay involved, that I was going to make a difference on this journey. And I've been reaching out in that direction and being mentored by Mark. And that is my life. I eat and sleep this information. And I do have reflection time with family, but they say, wow, you are different. Yes, because I'm evolving. I remember getting the material and looking at it, and it says Earth First Immortals. And I was like, wow, that I absorbed that so strongly in my being when I heard that. And now we're here with Immortalis, the next iteration. It's so beautiful to be on this journey with Mark. And I am loving every minute of it. I sleep this here. I'm surrounded by the books. The one thing I want to point out that I see and love so, when you see Mark's family and how he's extended to his kids and all the people that I've met, young people who have introduced this information to their either the grandfather or the mother, they are special people. And I've seen them. So now I have every day a mini day. Guess who? With my granddaughter. She calls me every day. She's 5 years old. She's writing me letters. I'm trying to make sure that she gets out of that world and be on this world that we're going to open up, because this is going to happen. This is going to propagate throughout the universe. This will happen for all of us. And if you are committed like I am, you will be able to be part of something greater than ourselves. Being creators, being independent, not being following nobody, but making your own mind up as we go. This is going to be a wonderful journey. And I want to say happy birthday again to Mark. May you live forever, 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 and forever. Thank you so much.
Well said, Larry. As usual, that was beautiful. It's been amazing to be working with you and having you here. And we're going to now go to Sue Lynn, another longtime member, along with Larry. I'm sure many of you know and love her as well. Sue Lynn, let me find you and unmute you.
You guys hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you guys a story. This is a story about a woman. She was 40 years old, and she was depressed and cried every day. She wasn't even sure what she was crying about. Her mom had just passed away about 9 months earlier. She still had 2 kids at home. One was 12, and the other was around 2 years old. She was married, living in Las Vegas with her husband, 2 children, and her dad. She was a stay-at-home mom. Her husband's very handy, unemployed, but doing side jobs to make ends meet. So this woman, who was very sad, had no direction or no goals, but wanted a better life. She was not sure anything would ever change. One day, she was sitting at her computer when all of a sudden this really weird feeling came over her. So weird that she looked at her husband and blurted out, "Honey, this is not my life. This is not what I should be doing. My life should be different." She went back to playing on the computer and didn't think much of it. You see, all she did all day long was watch the kids, do housework during TV commercials, and she had her entire day planned out for TV, watching soaps, dramas, and playing games or wasting time on the computer. Daily routine. So about 3 days after this overwhelming feeling, this woman received a strange letter in the mail. The letter said something to the effect of, "You're not living the life you're meant to live." She read the letter and sent it in, received a booklet with 5 stories, asking her to buy a book. The book was very expensive at this time, as the woman didn't have any money coming in. So she went to her dad and let him read the 5 stories. And he only had a life grade education and read very slowly. About an hour and a half later, he got up and left without saying a word. Came back 2 hours later, handed this woman the money and said, "This stuff's works. Go buy your book." He won it at the casino. So the woman ordered the book and waited 4 long weeks for it to arrive. When she got it, it was about 1,000 pages. Mind you, this woman didn't like reading very much and never read any books, even in school, that were more 200 or so pages. She started reading with good intentions and really finished out of boredom or lack of interest. This book was different. It was new. It was unique and fresh. It was telling her things she didn't even think were possible. In this book, it said she was special and could make a difference in the world and become a self-leader. She said, "What is a self-leader? What does that even mean? You mean what, I could actually think for myself and not follow?" Wow, what a novel concept. Over the next 9 months, she received 2 more books about the same size and read them twice, once by herself and then with her husband, so he can get an idea of what she was learning, so they could be on the same page. When all the reading was done, things started changing. She was changing. She was happier. She wasn't crying every day, and she wasn't watching TV all day either. Also in the book, it talked about finding your passion, finding what lights you up. This book told her a deep motivational root resides inside all of us, and when we awaken to it, we can live a life of exhilaration, happiness, and wealth. So this woman who never finished high school, never thought her dreams would come true, at 40 years old, started down a path of self-discovery, self-love, and self-education. She found her path, her passion, started studying quantum physics, philosophy, scientific theory, health and longevity, you name it. It was like something opened up inside her, and she couldn't get enough of learning, studying, exploring the universe, experiencing and awakening her consciousness. In these books, there's a theory about God-man, which is explained as a higher evolution of man, where human consciousness controls the cosmos. It was what Einstein was missing in his theory, E equals mc squared. This woman now loves reading, understanding, sharing, learning about higher consciousness, health, and longevity. It's now living dream life. That is always evolving, and is always an evolving adventure. Her youngest son, that was 2, is a black 2 at the time, is a black belt in karate, is on his own journey of self-discovery. When she heard this information, she thought she was going to get there, a destination. When am I going to be there? She thought. When am I going to become this God-man self? What do I have to do to make this happen? And then she realized there isn't a get there, there isn't a stop. It's who we already are. Life is a journey, it's an evolution, it's knowledge upon knowledge, increased awareness of inspired creations, and so on. This, folks, is a journey into consciousness, will continue into infinity. Your journey will not be the same as this one. It'll be uniquely yours. Very excited to be exploring the journey with all of you. Have you guessed who this woman is yet? So without receiving this literature over 17 years ago, I know my life would have looked very different. I've had the privilege of sharing the literature with other members for many years as a mentor, enjoying creating values as a health and longevity coach and speaker, not to mention the lifelong friendships that I've developed. I know I'm not alone in saying that information and literature I received from Mark Hamilton changed my life in a very big way. I'm so elated and excited to share this journey into the new world and become one of the first immortals in this new country, Immortalis. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Mark Hamilton.
I feel like I know the woman in that story, Sue Lin.
Do you?
Yeah, you have an amazing story, and
Thank you.
You definitely will be one of those first immortals. I know that for sure. And you'll be bringing a lot of people with us. I love what your Friday Night Essence is.
Thank you.
Speaking of Friday Night Essences, we're going to bring Tony up here. Tony Charles, let me just find you real quickly. And then we have one more after Tony. All right, Tony, you have the floor.
Oh, wow. My fellow immortalists, let's do this. Even if you are not muted, even if you are muted, let's do this together, please. 1, 2, 3. Let's sing happy birthday to Mr. Mark Hamilton. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Mark Hamilton. Happy birthday to you. We wish you good luck. I wish Manika can come on. We wish you good luck. We wish you good luck, Mr. Mark Hamilton. We wish you good luck. Happy birthday, Mr. Mark Hamilton. Yeah. You see, we all have a pivotal moment when we somehow is my video working?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you, Tony. Let me just put you on spotlight. I forgot to do that. There we go.
Okay, let me see. Something I put in my hair. Hold on 1 second. Something happened. Wow, what's that?
We can hear you and see you, Tony.
Okay. Well, we all have a pivotal moment when we discover something and nothing is ever the same again. For me, the day I received that letter, my first letter from Mr. McCamity, was that moment. That was the moment that everything changed. There was something strange about that letter. You see, usually I get so many letters in the mail, but that day, that was the only letter in the mail. I said, this is strange. And actually, I was not in the mood of reading any letter. So I put it aside because I was going to take my children to the movie. But during the movie, I was still thinking of that letter. So as soon as we came back from the movie, I opened the letter. But the letter was so long. I said, I don't want to do in this letter. This is too long. So I put it back. But something was still telling me that read this letter. I said, okay, let me just read maybe the first paragraph. As I begin to read, it was like everything changed about me. I got some kind of feeling that was so indescribable. And then I continued to read. I felt like it was God himself talking to me. I said, wow, the letter was telling me about things about me that was very exact. It was telling me about how I am an honest person, how I am making efforts, how I don't cut corners, and a whole lot of things. I said, who is this? I said, the universe has been watching me. I said, wow. So I called my children. I said, look, be careful with whatever you are doing in this world, because God is watching us. Whatever you do, God knows. I said, look at this letter. I know it is not coming from God, but it is coming from a human being that has been directed by God to write this letter to me, because this letter is telling me everything about me. And my feeling was so powerful, so great. And that was over 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago. And prior to that memorable day when I received that letter, my whole life was things were either in stagnation or crumbling. It was really very difficult. I did everything that was biologically possible. I went to seminars, read several books. I was a lecturer in church, in fact. So, prayer was something. But nothing was growing. Nothing. Fortunately, as I continued to read the material, the literature that Mr. McCamity sent to me, things began to change in a very profound way. And my life was just growing, I became a value creator. I was a person of value now. I became a leader in my community. I was elected to be the chairman of a very powerful African organization African Development Organization that is so big that the membership is over thousands of people from all over the world. And I was the chairman. I said, wow, everything was just happening. I said, wow. And Mr. McCarthy invited me again to join the Global Information Network. And things begin to happen again. And after that, I received another invitation from Mr. McCarthy to become a member of the 12 Visions Party. And things were just happening. The Knights of Columbus, they wanted me to even run as a councilman. But my African community, they wanted me to go back to my country and run as a president because my grandfather is the first prime minister of my country. And my grandfather wanted me to become president of that country all the time. So they were urging me, go, go, go. I said, man, everything is just happening now. But then I look at my children, like my Hamilton. I love my children. I said, how can I go now and become president? My children are Americans and they are going to school. They are still very young. So I turned that down. But things continue to happen. Things continue to happen. And I was receiving several awards, several community awards, community leadership awards. And I was even knighted. That's why some call me Sir Tony Charles. I was knighted, officially knighted. I became an author. I became a facilitator. A lot of things were happening. A lot of things. So, but, I was just thinking, what is this letter? What are these books doing to me? They are so divine. So I continue to share it with a lot of, not the books, but I continue to share with the idea with a whole lot of people. And I became a mentor to thousands of people. Thousands of people. I became an author. I became an educator. I became a facilitator. So I was conducting seminars, all because of the information that I have received from this book. A whole lot of things Mr. McCarthy have done for me. So much. Actually, there is so much I would love to share about my unwavering faith in Mr. McCarthy and his children, including Wallace, Marco, Frankie, and Manika, such as the love Mr. McCarthy and his family have for life. Man, that is great. The millions of lives the New Think literature is positively changing around the world. I would love to share that, and I'll be sharing that with the world. The relentless and benevolent effort that Mr. McCarthy and his family are making to extricate all humanity, to change the world, and to make the world a better place for everyone. That is remarkable. I'll be sharing that with people, and I want to continue to share it. I'm also glad to talk about how Mr. McCarthy and his family are helping all of us here, ascenders, new thinkers, and many other people to become profitable market business people. A whole lot these people, this family are doing for us. This family is doing for us, a whole lot. I would love to share how Mr. McCarthy is saving the world, his vision for health, wealth, and peace for everyone. But actually, let me talk a little bit about what this historic moment of immortality signifies to all humanity, not only to us new thinkers and ascenders, but to all humanity. You see, the idea of a new world is not new. History tells us that this idea has happened before and it can happen again. It has been happening. It can happen again. You see, before 1492, the old world was only consisted of Europe, Asia, and Africa. And a new world was found. They call it the Americas. Hey, my brothers and sisters, look at America today. Look at the world today because of that new world that was found that they call Americas. Mr. McCamity has found another new world, Immortalis. Immortalis. That name is so meaningful, so meaningful. And Immortalis is changing the world. Immortalis is the last evolution of humanity, my brothers and sisters. You see, if Mr. McCamity is listening to this, Mr. Hamilton, some people may be calling you crazy because of this idea. But I'm telling you, Mr. McCamity, you are not crazy. You are just different. You think different. They are crazy. And some of us that are following you, Mr. Joshua Shimo, if you are listening to this, and all the other members of New Think and the Ascenders that are following Mr. McCamity, some people will be calling us crazy. But I'm telling you, all of you, that we are not crazy. No, we are not. You know, one thing I want to tell Mr. McCamity and all of us is that that is the same name they gave to all the people that have changed the world. All of them, including Jesus Christ. They say he was crazy. But look at the world today. Because of those people that changed the world, Mr. Steve Jobs and others. Look at the world today. So, Mr. McCamity, you are not crazy. We are not crazy either for following you. We are standing by you. We are standing by you. We are standing with you. We are gently standing with you to look at anybody in his face that will say you are crazy. And we will tell that person that Mr. McCamity is not crazy. You are crazy because you do not know what you do not know. Mr. McCamity has a vision. He's taking us somewhere, and we are following him. If you really want to be somebody, follow us, because that's the only way you are going to live. Because this is the last evolution of man. Whether you want to or you don't want to, the world is changing. We are changing it. Mr. McCamity's idea is a great idea. You see, many years ago, there was a philosopher called Victor Hugo who said, nothing else in the world is so powerful as an idea whose time has come. You know, interestingly, that phrase associated with his work, the future of man. Can you imagine the future of man? Mr. McCamity is talking about a new world, the future of man. You see how that thing resonated with what Mr. McCamity is doing? So Mr. Hugo was right so many years ago. And today, on the 3rd day of September 2024, he's right again. He is right. So Mr. McCamity's idea is right. Today, we are witnessing an upgrade of the entire world. The entire world, Mr. McCamity is upgrading the entire world beginning today. My dear brothers and sisters, the old world is breaking down. whether they want it or not, whether the politicians want it or not, whether the bureaucrats want it or not, the old world is breaking down. You see behind me, you see that wall? That's the old world. It's breaking down. We created a new world. We call it immortalis. You see this one? This is the new world. This is the new world. That one is breaking down that old wall. That's why it's my back. The wall is my back now. It's breaking down. You see, humanity is going through a paradigm shift right now. Humanity is going through a shift of consciousness. Humanity is having a new way to think. And that new way to think is what we call neo-think. Neo-think. That is the only way to think. If you don't think the neo-think way, then you are not thinking. Then you are not thinking. Therefore, my hope is that all new thinkers, all ascenders, and all humanity, including all the millionaires and billionaires, Elon Musk and others, Sir Richard, all the billionaires, including even Bill Gates. I don't care who you are, as long as you are a millionaire or billionaire, please, I encourage you to join Mr. McCarthy. He has a vision. If you want to live forever, Mr. McCarthy knows the way. If you want to be young, Mr. Hamilton knows the way. I mean, look, I've been with Mr. Hamilton for over 20 years. But if I tell you my age, you will not believe me. You will not believe me if I tell you my age. That's why I'm not going to say it. You know, I'm not alone. There are many other people, like Larry, like Jean, you know, like the Yvonne. I mean, those people, they tell you their age, you will run away. Why? Because we have been with Mr. McCarthy. We have been with Mr. Hamilton. So I want to encourage those people to please come and join Mr. Hamilton and his family, because they have a great vision for the new world. This new world is coming. Whether anybody wants it or not, it is coming. Mr. McCarthy has been thinking about it for years. Himself and his family, from his father all the way down to his children, have been working on this for years. So there's no turning back to the new world. We are going to immortalize. We are. My hope is that the entire world will come to the ultimate realization that this noble family, this Hamilton family, has been making benevolent and relentless sacrifices for the benefit of humanity for over 55 years. For over 55 years, this noble family has been sacrificing for all humanity.
We get to join that sacrifice. But it's not a sacrifice because we love it, right, Tony? Wow, that was amazing, Tony. Thank you so much for tuning in. We still need to get to Erin, so I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna transition to her. That was very dynamic, and we have one more dynamic speaker, and then Wallace is gonna jump back on here. I'm gonna ask you to unmute Erin. Amazing, Tony.
Yes, that was beautiful, and thank you, Josh. Gratitude, immense gratitude is what comes to mind when I think of this day, Immortalis, Mark Hamilton, and Neothink. After I got my first letter and received my Neothink manuscripts, I enjoyed flipping through the pages. As many of you know, you can open one of these books and find nuggets of gold wisdom on each and every page, a revelation here, an insight here, and integrations everywhere in between. I loved the weekly phone calls and regularly attended. I was stuck still in deep stagnation and felt a heavy heart back then. However, the meetings always picked up my spirit, so I kept going. And I would attend the calls and not say a word, I would even attend them and not even say, "Hi, I'm Erin from New England." I was quiet. I said nothing. One of the NeoThink's great mentors who did the Sundays and Thursday calls back then reached out to me as I began to say hello. That was Charlie Moore. He challenged me. He called me out by saying, "How many of these books have you read cover to cover?" Well, I had to be honest. I hadn't. So now that I was called out on that, I had to start. So I read the Neotech 2 Key book as prescribed by my mentor first. From then on, I never stopped. My life was transformed forever. I could not get enough Neotech and Neothink. I finished my Neotech 1, 2, and 3 Key books, and then I went on to the Prime Cure. I created mini days one cold New England winter where I would read for 5 to 6 hours daily, and I finished the Prime Cure in under a month. So there I was thinking that nothing would transform me as much as Neotech until I finished the Prime Cure. I feel it was the greatest thing I had done yet. Reading the Prime Cure diligently in that time frame seemed to have activated the most amazing integrations in me. Indeed, it genuinely is the cure to aging and death itself, as I now felt life as I've never, ever had before. In short, Neotech cleared the mysticism, unapologetically removed all the negative, and freed me from the shackles that held me down, the student. Neothink introduced pure love's healing properties, like a soothing balm on tender new skin, and brought order as well as the mini day system to apply that creative fuel to, so as not to waste that powerful flow of new life that one feels after leaving stagnation, the maturity. Ascension brings proper application of all that was learned and integrated to experience tangible results in a real world setting, as well as bringing one up to date on the proper use of and introduction to the current technology available today. The effective living being capable of bringing tangible value to the world. Immortalis, the country where contextually honest, intellectually beautiful beings of pure love safely gather to bring value to the world and to assist others in the evolution of their consciousness, effectively freeing people from death itself. In conclusion, Immortalis to me is akin to the Promised Land, and is not just a vision or a dream, but a reality that many will be grateful for millennia to come. I have witnessed 3 generations of Mark Hamilton's family making the world a better place, all of them honoring contextual honesty, honoring pure love, all of them raising up their fellow men, all of them. And I will say actions speak louder than words, and the actions of these 3 generations speak not only words, but built worlds. A world that I want to live in, a world that I want to add value to, and a world that I will be loyal to. My unwavering and absolute faith in Mark Hamilton and Immortalis extends to his children as well, and this is 100% due to the consistent actions and results that I have personally seen from this family. Live long and eternal Immortalis and Hamilton family. I always felt that somewhere in time, Miss Annabelle's students were out there searching and gathering all of the geniuses back together in a place where contextual honesty and pure love reigns supreme. And this is happening right here, right now. I also would like to wish a very, very happy birthday to Mark Hamilton. Thank you.
Yeah, that was the perfect closing remarks, Erin. Amazing, amazing job. You guys all bring such amazing energy, and I think you know how much we love you, Erin. I'm going to hand it back to Wallace, and we're going to get into the details here of how to get involved. Wallace, you have the mic.
Wow, what a way to launch a new country, huh? These speeches were incredible. Thank you, everybody who spoke. Steve, thank you. Josh, thank you. Dad, thank you. Marco, Frankie, Manika, thank you. Sulin, Alicia, Larry and Tony, and Aaron, thank you. This was amazing. Thank you for sharing your stories. And I think it really speaks to how unique we are and how different we are. And all of you are really express the values of Neothink. And your commitment and dedication to our global cause is immense. So thank you all for sharing. And so now we're going to get into the specifics. So I'm going to be sharing you a link. I'm going to now show you how to become an original founding member of Immortalis. And I'm going to walk you through that sign-up process. And I'm going to share with you a little bit more about behind the scenes of our vision. I'm going to show you and share with you our roadmap and plan to actually get there. We have 8 phases right now into actually achieving this into reality. And so we are on phase 1 right now. And I'm going to be sharing my screen and showing you all how to join officially. So, and for everybody else who wants to say something, who wants to express their excitement, I'm going to give you an outlet in just a minute to do so. I would like you to take that energy, that enthusiasm, and write a post about it in our community. And so we can just, we can celebrate and share our excitements and feelings about all of this. And right before I give you the link to join the community, I do also want to say that I'm putting a call out there for all talent, all leadership, and all of those of you who want to be active contributors to this movement. To create a movement, especially at this grand of scale, we need energy. We need people. We need a team. And so I'm putting together a team to lead us into this brilliant future. So if you have any special talents, skills, or even if you're just passionate and want to contribute to this movement, I have a form that I want you to fill out to apply to be on our team. Thank you, Craig. I see you're very enthusiastic about this, so definitely. Mac, you too. Gage, yes, thank you. Perfect. I see a lot of people in the community right now who are really excited about this. Yes, so really important. We need to organize and we need a team. I'm putting together a core leadership team, and we have many different roles to fill in this movement to push this vision forward and to charge forward with this mission. The form to apply to that is in the Immortalis community. And so without further ado, I'm going to share the link to sign up right now, join Immortalis, and become an original founding member. It's joinimmortalis.com. Go to joinimmortalis.com. I just put it in the chat. Yes, Steven said, I play guitar and sing. You'll get us a song. We're looking for all the above. We're looking for artists, designers, leadership, community admins, recruiters, content writers, event coordinators, fundraising coordinators, anything that you can put, anything that can help contribute to this movement. So yes, I'm going to share my screen now and walk you through this sign-up process. There's a few things about it that I want to mention. So when you go to joinimmortalis.com, you will be led to a page that looks like this. You just click on Become a Founding Member, and then here you will apply. You're going to register as a founding member. And this will also be a pre-citizenship application form. And so you just enter your full name, your first and last name here, your phone number, email, your date of birth, and address. And then so we can start getting measurements on Immortalis, the nation. We want to track things such as the economic size of Immortalis. And so we're asking to put your household annual income and also to track the physical size of Immortalis so we can start recording how much land that we have as citizens and members of Immortalis and how much land we have under this new country ownership. And so we're going to ask the total square footage of the property you own. And our three biggest measurements for Immortalis in creating this new nation is our economic size, our total square footage of owned property, and our population. And so that's why I'm asking these two questions here. And it's kind of like a census, taking a census for the citizens in this nation. So fill out your, the basic information, name, email, phone, address. And we need, obviously, the prime law is the foundation of Immortalis. We're governed by the prime law of no initiatory force. So to be able to join Immortalis, you have to agree that you will not initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against any individual, property, or contract. And if you agree to not violate or to not violate the prime law and not initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against another person, then that qualifies you into joining and becoming an original founding member. And Mohana said, "This is so amazing." And she said, "I waited so long for this, almost 2 decades." Yes, I feel like that's a shared sentiment among many of you. And so yes, after you submit this information, you will be accepted into Immortalis and you will become a founding member. And so right now, don't wait, because today, if you sign up today, you will be an original founding member that will carry, and you will be able to carry that title for forever. And Dahlia said, "This is what we have been waiting for all my life." Absolutely. Beverly's excited. Awesome. And yes, we would like your real name here. So again, go to joinimmortalis.com. And Rosita, you said how much to join? It is free. To join this new country is free right now. To become a founding member of Immortalis is free. We will probably have an initiation fee for people who come on later, because we will need to raise funds to crowdfund territory that we're going to purchase. But right now, the community, to join Immortalis and become a founding member, it is free. So again, click that big button that says become a founding member, fill out your form, and then after that, you're going to be brought to a thank you page where you can then create an account to join the community. Roy, you said, what if we own acres? I just do a quick Google conversion and from acres to feet. So let's see, 1 acre to feet, square feet. 1 acre is 43,560 square feet. And so, yes, I'm just bringing you through the process to join the community as a startup society. And then I'm going to share with you the vision, the roadmap, some of our targets, our metrics, and a little bit more about what's to come, because a lot's going to happen over the next 2 weeks. We're going to move quick. We're going to move fast. We're going to be lean, mean, and agile. And we're not going to stop. We're going to build momentum. And we're going to move fast. We don't have time to waste here. This is serious. We are dead serious about this movement. So again, go to joinimmortalis.com, click become a founding member, sign up, and then I'll take you through the community right now. Edwin mentioned the square footage and income are giving you errors. Don't put any special characters, just put in numbers. It only accepts numbers here. So like here, I'll say 30,000. Don't do a comma or anything. And then square footage, don't write any like characters, just put in numbers. So if that's, 5,000 square feet, just put in 5,000. If you don't own any property, that's fine. Just put 0, and that's totally fine. Property owned, Lisa, you're asking, are you meaning land or how much land desired? This means how much property do you currently own? How much square footage of land do you have the deed to? And again, this is tracking how are the physical size of Immortalis. So we can report on our economic size, our physical size, and our population size. So then once you join and submit that application, you're going to be brought to a page that says join the community. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, so I'll put in my information and I can show you that next step. I trust you all, but the recording's going to go out, so I don't want everyone to have all my info. Let me know if anybody's getting stuck. Michael Chase, you mentioned that it's not. And yes, we have social media for Immortalis. I'm going to be sharing that with you once you're on the community, and which you should absolutely all follow and support. Oh, by the way, if you get stuck on the date of birth, enter the year first. So click date of birth, click the year, find your year, and then do the month. And then you click the day. Mohana, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you said you're hitting submit and nothing's happening. If you hit submit and nothing's happening, that means you got to scroll up a bit. There should be something red that says the information wasn't inputted properly or something. Margot, just square footage of all the land that you own. So for example, if you own an apartment or you're renting an apartment, it would be if you own property, if you own multiple properties, it'd be the total square footage of all property you own. Jason said you're a realtor. So awesome. We'll get some big numbers there. That's awesome. Okay. And I'm going to, again, stop sharing my screen really quick so I can put in my information. So yeah, for your birthday, put in your year first, then your month, and then click the day. Okay, awesome. I'm seeing a lot of you are in. That's beautiful. Okay, let's get to this, guys. We're almost there. I got a lot more for you to share. Okay, so after you submit it, you'll be brought to the thank you page. It'll say thank you for your application, and your journey with Immortalis has officially begun. We appreciate your commitment to upholding the prime law and contributing to our shared mission of creating a prosperous, free, and eternal society. And then if you scroll down, you may now join the private Immortalis community. And so click join the community after you submit your application form. Enter your name, email, and create a password. This will be the official private community for Immortalis. And I see some people mentioning the link isn't working well for them. Let's see, make sure you're spelling it correctly. Some people have mentioned going to join Immortals rather than Immortalis. So it's JoinImmortalis. JoinImmortalis.com. And yes, once you join the community, Mike mentioned that it says all the pages are private. Just either refresh your page or click on a different space. It will take a second because we set up an automation to add you to all the spaces. And if you cannot, and if you still need help, I'm going to keep moving on. And then for those of you who still need assistance, I will have somebody help walk you through this process. Stay on till the end. And then one of our tech guys, Joseph, he'll be able to get on and help you. Okay. So again, if you're having trouble, just stay on till the end, and then we'll have somebody walk you through it. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Look at that. We already have 40 of you, over 40 of you who have joined. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, original founding members of Immortalis, the first people to join this global movement and global effort. And Joseph, there's some people you can just be, if Joseph replies to you, he helps set up the community. So he's going to come on at the end as well if you need extra help. But yeah, so now that you're on the community, here's a brief breakdown. Is you have the start here space where right now, it's just congratulating and welcome you onto Immortalis, and that you have become a historic original founding member of Immortalis, and that this is the official Immortalis community where we will coordinate to create a new nation governed by the Prime Law. And we will be updating and adding to this community and organizing over the next few weeks as we embark on phase 1 on this journey to realizing pure freedom here on Earth. And to get started, I want you to go to the main discussion space called main discussion right here. And then I want you to introduce yourself and say hello and start enjoying this beautiful community, this beautiful society that's first going to be online, and then we will realize it into tangible territory. For those of you who are saying that the space is private, refresh the page or click on another space, because it takes like a minute for you to be added to all the spaces, because we set up an automation to do so. We set it up as private, everything is private, and then we have an automation that adds you to all the spaces just to prevent any bots and people we don't want, people who haven't applied, to join. And so go to the main discussion and say hello. And as we see, we have Josh, who posted in here, who mentioned he was very excited. This is one of the most exciting endeavors in the history of mankind. Immortalis will bring us so much closer to living in the super civilization sooner than later. And you're looking forward to participating in and contributing to Immortalis every day. Working together with each of you will be the highlight of my life. Let's play. I love it. That was beautiful, Josh. Awesome. Markarian is posted. Hey, NeoThink fam, let's rock, from Mike Mielk. Thank you. And yes, so I want you to take your energy, your enthusiasm, your thoughts, your feelings that you have about this monumentous occasion, and post it in the community. And go to the main discussion, click new posts at the top, and share. We have over 52 members who are now joined on Immortalis. Congrats to the first 50. Our first big target to hit is 100 members of Immortalis. The first 100 to join. Joseph mentioned that because of the major influx of people that we have joining at one time, it might be overloading from the surge of members joining. So just keep trying. Awesome. And then if you're getting, someone mentioned they have a it needs a passcode. So it will send you a one-time password to your email, which you'll need. It's a 6-digit thing that you have to enter to log in for the first time to verify your email. Yes. So yes, let's go. So right now the community is kind of bare bones. And as phase 1 of creating this startup society, we're going to be making this more robust over time and letting this community grow organically and naturally. We're going to have add different spaces. We're going to be organizing as a community. We're going to start an all citizens meeting approximately once a month. We're going to give you weekly updates through an email newsletter on the progress of our movement, what we're doing, how our numbers, how they've been improving along the way. And much, much more is to come. We are going to be organizing very rapidly and very quickly. Sean said, I am here to fulfill my destiny. Yes, you are, Sean. You are in the right place. And yes, Jason said all at no cost today. Thank you. Absolutely. And pretty soon, we will have no taxes. Okay, yes. Be posting. Yeah, Jason said no taxes. If you want to, and we would love this, if you would be able to take a video, a selfie video, just saying hello to everyone and expressing your excitement, and then posting it in this, posting it here, that would be amazing. We love face-to-face interaction. And if not, just simply write a post saying hello to everybody. All right. This is awesome. I'm going to refresh and see where we're at right now. 79 people. Here we go. Let's absolutely hit our target today. Our target today is to get 100 members, have a population of 100 immediately on day one of our launch of Immortalis. Oh, hey, Tony, I see you're you're waving. Let's see.
Yeah, I've tried several times to put my birthday, but it's not letting in.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like some people are having the birthday issue. So let me share my screen again. So when you click on the date of birth, click the year first, and then select your year. And then you have to select the month. And then you have to select the day. If you already selected the day and changed your year or change your month, you have to resubmit that, or you have to click the day again.
Oh, okay. So click the year first, and then the month, and then the day. Okay.
Correct. Year, month, then day.
Okay, let me go back on the. Okay. I've been trying it for several times. I wanted to be in the first thing, but now I'm trying so hard to be.
You'll get in with the first 100. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
We have, really quick, I'll take TW and then I'll move on because, again, Joseph at the very end is going to help you with any of your tech issues if you have them. So quick, TW, your hand was raised for a while, so I'll just quickly take your question and then we can move on.
Thank you. I'm having trouble putting my income. I'm on Social Security, and no matter what I put on there, it says the same thing. Put your household annual income. So I don't know what I'm supposed to put.
Are you on your, if it's 0, put 0, or if it's just, do you see this number on the side? Or can you type in numbers? Or is it not letting you enter anything?
No, I typed in the numbers and then I hit submit, and it comes up red saying that household annual income to track economic size of Immortalis. And it's no matter what I put on there. I even tried to fib and raised it up and it wouldn't take that. So I don't know what to do.
Huh.
And I'm sure trying to join. I got everything else filled out, but that's the only thing that it won't take.
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, we will have. Okay, stay on. I'm going to continue for about 10 minutes and share with you a little bit more about the roadmap and things. And then after that, Joseph will come on and help you with this. So just stay on that page. Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. So I want to be in there.
Yes, and we'll get you on today for sure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so moving on a little bit. Again, if you're on your computer, you can click at the very top called New Post. And then once you click on that, you can be able to say hello. You simply just say hello. You say a little bit about yourself and just express any feelings that you have right now to be a part of this amazing, amazing movement. So, all right, we're almost at our first target of 100. We have 98 people on right now. That is amazing. And I see a lot of people have posted right now. Look at you guys. Awesome. We're going to hit our target today. Awesome. Yeah, and I think for those of you who are saying it's private, you've done everything right so far. The automation probably just has to run in the background. I don't think this is used to being swarmed by, a few hundred people all at once right now. So you'll just keep trying. And don't worry, you'll get on today, and we're not going to leave the call today until you are on. Yes, Darren said our number is going to go way past 100. Absolutely. Especially as for all the people who weren't able to make this time. And as we send out the announcement, we're going to be getting a lot of people on, and we're going to be moving quickly. So again, this is the community. This is going to be the heartbeat of Immortalis. And this is where we're going to organize, where this is our private community, where we can discuss things amongst ourselves as founding members for this new nation. And yes, David said, I'm glad and honored to be part of the launch. This is the most awesome endeavor. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to be sharing a little bit more. So after you come in and say hello and reply to people, start checking everybody out, saying hi, starting to get to know each other, I'm going to want you to, for those of you who are willing to put in some effort into pushing this movement forward, because we need, again, all the talent and help we can get. So anybody who is willing to become an active leader and volunteer in this movement, I want you to fill out a form. I'll just put it in the chat right now as well. But you can find it in the Start Here space. And the first post, Welcome to Immortalis, it's step 2. And I just posted the form. And this is basically what it looks like. This is the call for all talent. Anybody, even if you're just passionate about this, or you have a special skill, or you've had experience or leadership roles before, organizational roles before, I'm going to want you to, we would love to have you on our team. And over the next couple weeks, we're going to start selecting people to fill roles that we need to really launch and move forward this movement. We need energy, we need manpower, and we need passion. And so this is the form that says calling all talent, Immortalis roles in leadership application. Are you passionate about creating a new country based on the principles of prosperity, happiness, and freedom for all citizens? Do you want to be at the forefront of a revolutionary movement that's reshaping the concept of nationhood? Immortalis is seeking dedicated volunteers to help propel our vision forward as we embark on phase 1 of our journey to establish a new digital nation. As an Immortalis community leader, you will play a crucial role in shaping the foundation of our country. You will lead and inspire fellow citizens in various capacities. You will contribute directly to the growth and development of Immortalis. We're looking for passionate individuals to fill the following roles or to contribute in any way that you believe would benefit our mission. Core leadership. This one, I'm trying to assemble a close team of about 5 people max to represent our core leadership in managing and growing the Immortalis movement. I want community admins to guide, moderate, and facilitate our online platforms. I want... Craig submitted it already. Hell yeah, Craig. I would love to welcome you on. Recruiters, we need to attract new citizens that are aligned with our vision. That is a huge one. We need to recruit. Social media managers, content writers, and content creators, newsletter editor, event organizers to plan and host both online and local in-person gatherings, community organizers to build relationships with community members and mobilize support, monthly meeting hosts, designers to create visual assets that represent our nation's identity, artists and musicians to contribute creative expression to our events, our campaigns, and our identity. We need fundraising coordinator, event coordinator, legal advisor, web developers, videographers, photographers, and others. If you have any skill, superpower, or can contribute in any other way, let us know. You will become in the forefront of creating a new nation. You will develop leadership skills in a revolutionary context. You'll connect with the community of like-minded individuals passionate about this global change and potential for future roles in Immortalis, the nation itself. And so for that one, of course, we would need your name, email, number to contact you. It's a question, why do you want to be an Immortalis leader? And if you're willing to commit time to a role ranging from anywhere from 1 hour a week to 10 hours a week, depending on your leadership role, which roles are you most interested in and why? Let us know some of your key strengths. And if there's anything else we should know about you. So it's a pretty quick and simple form that we want you to be able to fill out to become an active contributor and at the forefront of this movement. This will be a major honor, and you will have incredible, incredible change. I'll put the form in the chat one more time. Again, you can find it in the community under the first post, welcome to Immortalis. I say get started, say hello and introduce yourself in the main discussion. And then the second step is to fill out the volunteer and leadership application form. Okay, awesome. Look at that. We're 130 members. Look at that. That's incredible. We blew through our very first target and milestone on day one within 30 minutes of officially launching. Congrats to everybody here. That's huge. That is huge. Steven said, how do you find the member number? I don't know if you have it, but since I'm an admin on the community, I can see at the top here the number of members. But yes, if you're currently if you see, the private spaces, then that just means you're already included in this number, in the count. You just have to wait for the automation to get access. And again, bless you. Someone's not muted. And yeah. So, okay. First target hit. First target of Immortalis has been hit. That is huge. That is momentous. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. So now I want to talk to you a little bit more about our vision and our plan. Because this isn't, this isn't just something we're claiming. We have a plan to get there and actualize and achieve this. And right before I share with you our roadmap, I want to let you know again to please either take a video and post it in the community once you're on the community. And in the main discussion, 142 members. Let's get to 150 right now. All right. And when you're on the community, just leave us, just type something that will let us know about you and your excitement about this. And then interact with each other. Start to get to know each other. So, okay. So for the phases and the roadmap for Immortalis. A overview of this roadmap is on joinimmortalis.com. And here's the overview of our vision and of our plan. So phase one, we're in phase one right now of founding the Startup Society. We are launching this country first digitally as a purpose-driven online community, which is what you're joining now. And some of those milestones are we're going to be setting up, which we already have under the Prime Law, the guiding principles that all members will agree to uphold. We are creating an online platform for members to interact and participate, which is the Immortalis community, which you're joining right now. Mike, you said this is frustrating. I apologize. The system's probably being overloaded, but don't worry. If you stay on, Joseph will walk you through this one by one and make sure anybody who wants to join will join today. And so you can be part of the day one founding members of Immortalis. And so founding the Startup Society, that's what we're doing right now. And very quickly, we're going to be transitioning into phase two, which is organizing as a network union, which is we're transforming this online community into a cohesive group capable of taking collective action. And that's with the form that I want you to fill out where we're calling all talent. And so we want to really organize and build a real movement, and we need as much manpower as possible. And then from there, we're going to be building our economy as a nation and be building trust online and offline. We're going to be creating an internal economy. We're going to start a new currency based on blockchain. We're going to start our own cryptocurrency and start record keeping based on the blockchain using technologies such as, blockchain, Web3, and so on. We're going to be hosting regular online and offline meetups. We're going to be creating, during this phase, a community cohesion and establish a tangible presence through online engagement and offline interactions. And again, launch our cryptocurrency and start creating economic opportunities and create a marketplace, a platform for citizens to offer services, trade, invest, and foster economic growth and self-sufficiency. And we will begin to have a real GDP as a country. And then phase 4 is to crowdfund physical nodes. And we're going to implement technology to link all these physical locations digitally. We're going to create we're going to identify potential locations for physical territory that aligns with our country's values and strategic goals, launch crowdfunding campaigns for acquiring properties, establish the first physical community spaces, develop protocols for managing and connecting these nodes, and identifying and starting to secure land for contiguous territory, and begin infrastructure planning and development. From there, we're going to be creating our network archipelago. to connect these physical nodes that we've crowdfunded into a cohesive network. And then from there, we're going to conduct an on-chain consensus and formalize and formally establish this nation's population and economic base, and create a secure system for citizenship, and start to measure accurately the state's economic activity. And then from there, we're going to be seeking diplomatic recognition and gain legitimacy as a sovereign entity. And that's where the real magic will happen. And then from there, we have officially created a nation governed under the prime law, and we will realize the Immortalis vision to enjoy unprecedented and eternal wealth, health, and peace on earth and beyond. So I just gave you an overview of our roadmap. We are on phase 1 right now, and we are rapidly over the next 2 to 3 weeks going to be entering phase 2. And we're also going to be rapidly entering phase 3 by building our own economy. So things are going to move fast. Come back to the community, see updates. We have a space in the community here. In the first, I think the third space down, it says updates. We're going to be providing you all those updates. And we're going to be letting you know everything going on, us hitting our targets. Look at that, 150 members. Day one. Can we get to 200 members today? We shall see. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. And yes, again, if you're having trouble signing up, we are not going to leave until you are on. You have our promise for that. Yes, and again, this is the bare bones of the community. Again, as we move from phase 1 into phase 2, we're going to be building this way more robust, especially as we organize and create community leaders, start getting volunteers to really push this movement forward. And if you want to see the roadmap, this is a tentative roadmap. There's a lot more detail to this, which we're going to be publishing more resources about all this information. But this is the overview. It's on the homepage, joinimmortalis.com/home. And again, founding the Startup Society, which is phase 1 right now. Organizing as a network union, that's phase 2. Phase 3, building the economy, and then crowdfunding physical nodes and territory, creating the network archipelago, formally establishing the state's population and economic base with the path to citizenship, seeking diplomatic recognition and becoming sovereign, and then the realization of the Immortalis vision. So yes, 8 phases. We have all the steps, and we're going to be sharing all of that with you. We're being extremely transparent about everything behind the curtain. And pretty much all of this will be public record. So yes, a dream come true, the prime law for real. Long live Immortalis. Beautiful. All right. So that's a little bit about the roadmap and the vision and how to get there. We have certain metrics, targets, and milestones that we are going to be using to track our success, such as the population size. Right now, we hit our first target on day 1 of 100 members. And then our next target will be 500, 1,000, all the way up to 100,000, million, and beyond. We also have targets, and we're going to be tracking these every single day, every single week, and updating you with the progress, such as our economic size, which naturally grows with our population. And we are also having crowdfunding targets with milestones all the way up to starting at $1,000 to $1 billion plus. So Wonderful. And all of this will be announced to you. Again, this is kind of the bare bones as is right now for the community. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to move quick and organize fast. And the big thing I would like to mention to all of you here, the really big way you can contribute, whether if you have the time or not to join and become an active volunteer and leader in Immortalis, is there are two pillars of contributing to this movement. One is promotion, and number two is recruiting. One, promotion, telling people about it, posting on your social media, sharing or reposting what some of us post, and then recruiting, talking to people, talking to them about the prime law, the fundamental law of protection, trying to share with them, trying to share with people our ideas, our values, our mission, and then bringing them in, inviting them to join us on Immortalis. So promotion and recruitment, those are two pillars of contribution that we need each and every one of you as our members to do, to promote this movement, to really make this a reality. For it to be a movement, we need forward movement. And so that call is for each of you to step up and take that call and to contribute in the ways that you personally can. Look at that. We passed 150. We passed 150 members already. We're at 164 immediately. Oh, Michael, you made it on. Great. I know you said you were having a little troubles. Beautiful. I'm glad to see you on here. Tim, Calvin, Philip, David. Thrilled to be a part of Immortalis's historic founding day. Thank you, Wade, for being with us for 33 plus years. Beautiful. And again, stay on. If you're having troubles, we will get you on. And I want to remind you, we're calling all talent and volunteers to help move this movement forward. We're going to be starting local groups and local meetups also very quickly and very shortly. And if that's something you're interested in, absolutely fill out that form and let us know what you're interested in doing. Those will be really important and really crucial. Local meetups, online and offline events. We're going to be doing all the above soon. We're going to take about 2 weeks while we get very organized, while we accept people to be on our leadership team and take up some roles. And that's going to be really exciting as we transition into phase 2, a network union capable of collective action, where we start really organizing. Welcome. Welcome, Kamal, David, Terry, Michael, Randall, Albert, Richard, Deanna, Robert, Clive, John. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. On day 1, you original founding members. This is historic. This is really exciting. I love seeing all of you guys post. This is awesome. We're at 166 members right now. And yes, in about a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we will have our first all citizens meeting for Immortalis. And you will be updated on this. Make sure to go back to it. Make sure to join, go back to this community. And by the way, the link for the community, when you need to go back to it, is community.joinimmortalis.com. To sign back in, it's community.joinimmortalis.com when you're going back to the community. Also on the top, you can edit your notifications if you want to be notified based on when people post. And you can select your notifications, whether you want notifications from the app on your phone or if you want email notifications. And there is an app you can download to access the community on your phone. It's called Circle. That's the platform we're using to host the community. But we'll give you that information in the community in the resources section. So okay. So now I've given you an overview. This is the start. This is it. This is how we're starting as a startup society with a working community where we can interact and organize. And we're going to be quickly moving into phase 2. Remember, submit the form to become a leader or volunteer in this movement. We need all the leaders that we can. We already have 34 people who have responded to volunteer and be a leader in this movement. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, thank you. This is going to be so exciting. And I'm so happy that so many of you already are willing to put in and contribute. And this is amazing. You're going to hear from us over the next couple weeks. We're going to start picking roles, interviewing people as early as Monday, as early as less than six days away. And we're going to move quickly. Again, this is something we're dead serious about. This is something that's not just we've been looking for the last several months in planning this, several years in planning this. This is more than my whole father's life. This is more than my grandfather's life. This spans back to the first great thinkers and when consciousness first appeared on Earth. This movement comes all the way back and has roots in Aristotle for his philosophy based on reason, logic, and reality. This is bigger than anybody. This is bigger than ourselves. This is bigger than my father. This is bigger than the Neothink Society. This is humanity as a whole. This 3,000-year-old movement is starting to actualize into reality beginning today. Be happy, be proud, be excited. There's so much more that's going to be coming out of this. Thank you to the 35 of you right now who've already signed up to volunteer and be a leader and contribute to this movement actively. Frankie's calling me. Hi, Frankie. What's up? Okay. All right, got it. Beautiful. Got it. Okay, bye. All right, I got word from Frankie. Joseph's ready to come on and help everybody who is struggling or stuck at all in whatever capacity. We do not leave because we're not going to leave until you're on. And Sulin, you said you're still seeing private. That's okay. Because that means you're in the community. The automation just hasn't given you access. So again, the big core pillars of this movement is promotion and recruitment. Start talking about it, and come back to the community every day over the next week, and you'll see a lot developing. And really quick, for those of you who are in right now, let's have you follow the Immortalis social media, some of that. So like on X, on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you'll be able to follow us, support us, and share it with people. Patba, you mentioned you have to leave. Are you a part of the newsletter? If you're a part of the newsletter and you have to leave, but you aren't able to join up, reply to the last email you got from Mark Hamilton. That goes to our team, and we'll be able to help you figure that out one-on-one. So Pat, we want to make sure you're not left out one bit. Okay. This is our movement, everybody. Our movement. Okay. So Joseph, you can hop on in right now. And again, welcome everybody officially to Immortalis. We have 168. We'll probably hit 200 on our first day of launch. So that's extremely exciting. You're going to get on soon. I want you to volunteer. I want you to say hello to everybody and start replying and liking people. Start getting to know each other. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start to organize and formalize and start really pushing this movement forward. I showed you the vision, the roadmap that we have, some targets, some milestones we have to hit. This is all just beginning. So thank you, everybody. Joseph is going to come on right now and help anybody who needs help signing up. Welcome to Immortalis, you original founding members. Thank you, everybody. Joseph, are you ready to come on now? All right, if Joseph comes on, maybe I can take a question. Arlene?
Yeah, no matter what I try to do, I can't get past the privacy thing. When I first did this the sign up last week, I was fine. When I did it today, I noticed I had misspelled my email, but I went in and corrected that. It got me into the point where I see the actual screen, but it says the entire thing is private. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've tried at least 10 times now, and I can't get past that.
Okay, got it. Joe, I'm going to make you co-host. Give me one moment. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
That's been the hard part too, because with you sharing screen, it's kind of hard to get back because I have to go back to the original.
Oh yeah.
To figure out what's happening, and it's like, this isn't working.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Oh, and one more thing about the community. There's a space called NeoThink Mentors. So all of you who are well integrated with Mark Hamilton and NeoThink, been members over, a year plus, some of you 30, 40 years, which is incredible. As we bring in new people, we would like to ask you to start taking some mentorship roles and kind of just sharing, giving value, helping new members kind of learn about us, our mission, our vision, and some of the teachings and just take that role. You will become natural mentors just by being familiar with my father's literature, just by reading it. You have subconsciously absorbed it. And so as new people come on who aren't familiar with Mark Hamilton and Neothink, as Immortalis really starts to grow as a worldwide movement and really picks up, we thought it would be wonderful if you can take kind of mentorship roles. And in that space, when people have questions, if people are stuck or struggling, we would like you to just be natural mentors and try to help somebody out and just add value to the community, to your fellow citizens of Immortalis. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that. And Joseph, raise your hands so I can give you access, both of you. Okay, Alicia, I'm making you. Oh, are you going to be on for a bit? Can I make you host or should I? Okay, Alicia, you are now host.
Yes. Okay,
and
thanks.
now you can give it to Joseph. And Joseph,
Okay.
all right, stay on if you need help. And Joseph will take it away. And again, remember to come back to the community every single day. We're going to have a link to get back to the community on the main website, joinimmortalis.com, or you can log back in by going to community.joinimmortalis.com. Just go back to the main homepage and you'll be able to get access right back to it. And again, check back every day. Tomorrow, we're going to set the date for our official first meeting of Immortalis, our all citizens meeting. And so there will be an event where you can sign up and RSVP for that and really start organizing and kickstart this movement. So amazing day, amazing day. Thank you to all of the speakers who got on. Thank you to everybody who's on this whole time. We still got like over 300 of you, plus including the live stream, who've made it 3.5 hours of this incredible launch and this incredible announcement. Thank you so much. This is the beginning of realizing the Sea of You here on Earth. Thank you for all your dedication, your commitment, your dedication to the values of life, of honesty, of effort, of rationality. We are going to build something major here. This is it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. And I'll be seeing you soon on the Immortalis community. Joseph, let's get everybody else on, and I'll see you in the community. Bye, everybody.